All right, so this is how we closed off January, 112,098K net. We had a 19K day, we had a few 12K days, 11K day. So basically, my plan to hit 200K a month, I'm going to break down here and show you guys how I break down the weekly. You can see right here, I just break down everything into weeks: week 1, week 2, week 3, and then week 1 of February. So this is how I hold myself very accountable to hitting numbers like this. And really, I mean, we're not happy with these numbers. The previous month we did 112. We beat the last month by $200, I think. So not happy with these numbers. And going to kind of break down again for you guys that have been watching my series. March, we're aiming to hit 300K. It's gonna be 150K in recurring revenue with clients that we have right now. We have about 50 to 60, maybe 65 clients paying us 3,000 a month, 2 to 3,000 a month. It's about 150K in recurring. And right now we're pretty profitable where our recurring can cover and some of our overhead costs. So that's a good spot to be at if you run an agency right now, is to be have your recurring costs cover all of your costs. And that allows you to be a lot more aggressive mentally and also just with numbers in marketing and sales. So we're at that place now, which now we're comfortable. We're in that season. Product's dialed in. We've done a lot of work, and it's a constant thing, right? It's like I'm never gonna say our product is like completely dialed in, right? We still have clients that are not happy. We still have we still have problems, but it's more are we do we have the product to a point where most of our clients are seeing good results, and if the clients don't see good results, it's usually on them, right, and not following our process. So uh, going back to the March, 150K in recurring, 150K in new sales. So for me, my division, I have a partner in the business and he handles all of operations. Maybe he can record YouTube videos on how he does that with operations. It's an entire thing that he does on his end with ClickUp and organizing all that. For me, I have a sales team and a marketing team to manage and lead. So this is February 4th to the 10th is going to be what we are going to be looking at. And just to recap, actually, the month that we had last month. So January, we had a goal of 143. We booked 98. We had 58 shows. We had a monthly goal of 100. We brought in a closer week 2. So a lot of these numbers are skewed. Like we should have closed a lot more. But we had a new closer. We brought a new sales lead. We brought in a new setter. So a lot of these numbers are not where it should be. Our best month was in October. We did about 80K cash collected new sales. And that was with me. I was a closer and then one setter. I had to learn marketing. I had to learn sales by myself before I was able to bring in a marketer that was better than me. Honestly, he's way better than me. And then bring in a closer as well to be able to take the calls, and then now learn how to ramp up a closer. Right. So we did 98, 58 shows, and then 8 closes. And the goal was 20. You guys can see all these numbers. We spent 14,000, so we spent 15,000, a little bit less than what we'd like to spend. We want to ramp up towards spending about 20,000, 25,000. I think this month we're going to spend about 25,000. I'll break down the math of how much we need to spend over here, which is about 4,500 a week. We'll do the numbers there. So 14,000. These are real numbers. This is what we spent. So guys, I'm not going around projections. I'm going around what we did in January. So you guys have a good idea. 21K did terrible in terms of cash collected. Average cash was 2687, which, again, our average cash before was about 5K. But we brought a new closer. He had to get ramped up. He wasn't offering as many people. So spent 15,000, got 21 back. Not the worst, but also not the best. We definitely want to be at 2x in terms of ROAS in upfront cash. Obviously, lifetime value is a lot more. So it's still not a unprofitable month, but we could do a lot better, right? We do a lot better. So this number, realistically, we did 21K in cash collected in new sales. Very, very bad for us. I mean, yeah, just not good for us. October we did 80, and we want to be with this team. We have 2 setters now and a full-time closer and a sales lead. And a better marketer. We should at least do 100K in cash, in new cash. If you guys think that sounds crazy, again, I'm going to be breaking down how we do that. So cost per close was about 1871. These are really the metrics I look at. So whenever I go into any offer or look at any agency, so if you're running agents right now, just look at how many bookings, right? Very clearly, you'll be able to tell why you did the numbers that you did, right? We only had 58 shows, so we got 8 closes. I mean, this is a pretty bad close rate, but if we had 100 shows, this number would have been double, and then this number would have been double, right? If we did a little bit more, if we did instead of 25, we pitched or cash collected 5K, then this number would have been closer to 40,000, right? This would have been double as well. So you could see how you could pull different levers. If I wanted to pull cash collected at 2,500 and pull it to 5,000, that's going to 2x this number right here, right? And that turned into 40,000. Let's say I keep that the same at 40,000. Let's say I close instead of 8, I have 58 shows, not even by changing the closing, which right now the biggest constraint would be closing, right? And then also another big constraint would be shows. But what is the biggest constraint? Closing, right? But let's say I just double this number to 100 and I hit our monthly goal, which should be possible this month. Then this would be 16, and then we would have closed way more, right? We would close, let's say that was 40 at 5K cash collected. That would have been 80,000. And let's say that I increased the show rate just by a little bit. Let's say it was 58 divided by 98, whatever that number is, and I increased it by 10%, that would have been the 100K in new cash. So it's not too far-fetched, and at least we have the system. Most people, when you guys are looking at input outputs, you guys don't have a system where you can spend this amount and get this much back and increase this number so that we can increase this number or decrease this number, increase this number, and then overall have a system that's going to be able to scale. That's the only reason why I'm able to confidently look at February, March, and know that we're going to hit 300K because I'm just doing math. But you can only do math if you have an actual system that's inputs and outputs, or else you're just dreaming about numbers. That's facts. So that's what we did there. And in terms of last week's numbers, this is pretty terrible. I don't even want to show you guys this, but I told myself I want to be very transparent. Actually, I won't show all that. So I'll show weekly dates. So we did 3,000 ad spend, 7 leads at 441, not good. 4 appointments at 750. Cost rose with creatives. So we just need to be testing more creatives, way more creatives that we need to be testing on our front end. And that's where I dropped the ball, and I needed to honestly just record way more creatives than what I was doing. So this is the plan, right? 45 appointments booked for February. I'll keep you guys updated with the numbers. And if you guys don't have this ready for your team when you come in hot on Monday, then you already lost. You guys get what I'm saying? Like, if you haven't planned out your month, you already lost. I'll show you guys what I mean by this. So I don't want to show you guys my Discord chat, but here are the numbers. Like, if you guys need to understand, like, your team is depending on you to get these numbers, right? To give them a plan. You need to give them a plan of what's going to happen this week. So for us, it's very clear. Ed needs to book 15. Our two setters need to book 15 appointments, right? That'll put us at 30. We got to book 15 appointments on paid ads. I know our cost per appointment is 300 is the target. So what do we need to do? We need to spend 15 times 300. That's 4,500 a week, and we need to be booking 15 appointments from paid ads. So we have 15 from paid ads, 15 from one setter, 15 from the other setter. It's 45. Last week we did 15 from one setter, and then we just got to get both setters to KPI and hit 15 appointments, right? That's 45 appointments booked, which will be our KPI. The past few weeks we've been doing, the week before we did about 32, the week before that we did about 36. So we're closer to this number. At a 70% show rate, that's 32 showed appointments. At an 80% pitch rate, which seems to be the number, we did 81 last week, right? We did 81 last week. Then it's going to be a 20% close rate, and that should be 5 deals out of 25. But where the goal is at least 6 deals closed, right? Should be the number. At 5K cash collected, again, right now we're at 25. So that number needs to increase 2687. That needs to increase to 5K, which shouldn't be a problem. I think, again, the closer is ramping up. Wasn't really confident in being able to pitch our full program at 14. So we needed to make sure that we worked out the kinks there. So that should be 5K per deal at 5,000 at 5 deals bare minimum. That would be 25,000 cash collected for this week. And again, this is broken up into, we have 4 full weeks in February, guys. So just keep in mind, you need to go strong. So 25,000 for 4 full weeks, that would be 100K in new cash. Our goal in February is to hit 200K in cash collected. 200K in cash collected, so that's the goal, right? We'll have 100K in MRR in recurring that we already have right now. That's going to happen no matter what. And then 100K in new cash, 25K a week, and that's going to be 200K in cash collected. 50% margins should be 100K net is the goal for this month for owners. And between my partner and I, that'll be 50K split between me and him. So 50K a month in personal payout after taxes. You do the math, that's about 30,000 in net profit after taxes, completely after taxes. So that's my plan on making 30,000 after taxes this month. Going to March, 300K, 150K net, 50% margins. Split against my partner and I, 75K each. This is if we don't keep anything in the business savings, by the way. 75K net each, which is our money, his money. And then for me, that would be 75K, maybe 45K in after taxes. I really want to be at the 50K after taxes. My goal was in March to be at 100K after taxes, but we're a little bit behind our goals. So 50K is not that I want to settle for it, but that should happen bare minimum. 50K after taxes, maybe 80K before taxes in personal payout. So that's a number that I will be reaching in Q1. So how are we going to do this? Well, we need to be closing 6 deals every single week. So you can see right here, individually, everyone is given their plan by the week, right? So like, what does our closer have to focus on? What does our setters need to focus on? And X, Y, Z. Just lots of QC, right? What I'm realizing with the sales team is just lots of QC, just constant QC, and making sure that everything is dialed in. So I got 45 calls scheduled every single day. We're just looking at, if you look at 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, what is that? 9 calls per day. So I just got to look at the calendar and be like, hey, go to Google Calendar, see if there's 9 appointments a week or a day. If there's not, then we're behind on the goal. And we need to be booking 9 appointments a day. So that is going to be 45 calls scheduled. And that just needs to happen, right? That's the marketing plus the setters. Are they scheduling 45 calls? That's what I'm working with them. Every day at 12 p.m., I'm working with the setters, working with the marketing team to make sure that we're doing our end, right? 30 from the setters, 15 each for each setter, and then 15 from paid ads. That'll be 45 calls on our calendar this week. 70% show rate, that's 32 shows. So I'm just looking at the sales team, the setters, closers, making sure they're in sync, making sure that we get 32 shows this week out of the 45, right? If this happens, this can happen. If 70% show, then 25 can maybe be pitched. If we pitch at least 80% of 70% that shows, then we should close at least 5 people. That's it. If we cash collect 5,000 for every deal, on average, that should be 25 cash collected. You just look at the numbers. It always starts with the numbers. And then you look at what the constraint is, if you evaluate last week, what did not go well? Right? If you evaluate last month, what did not go well? What out of this was the biggest constraint? And then on a week to week, what can we do to make sure that happens? So right now, our close rate is the biggest constraint. Right? So increased pitch rate. Before, the pitch rate was at like 40%. Now it's at 80%. Right? So we got that dialed in. We haven't been closing as much. So I'm saying, hey, we have to re-offer the deals after 24 hours. So if a lead doesn't close, we got to give some better offers. Right? As soon as they don't close, 2 days after, re-offer. Then daily accountability, right? Review more calls. So the closing is the constraint that I need to review more calls. Every call needs to be reviewed. Right? And then outbound dials. If we're not closing enough deals, if we don't have this number being scheduled, we don't have 45 calls, we're going to be calling more people, following up with more people. All right, in terms of the sales lead, 5 to 10 calls per week, right? Giving feedback, watching every call, reviewing every call, joining the follow-up calls, and just we have a QC channel that we're going to create for every call that doesn't close. We have to track why, right? We have to be obsessive. We're not at the point yet with this company where we could just review 2 calls out of 10. Right. We're at a point now with the company where every call needs to be reviewed. That's the QC process. We have to do that. In terms of the setter goal, again, 30 total, 15 each. We're pretty clear about that, and we're pretty confident we can hit that. Our setter today, she hit 3. Shout out to Karen. And then Ed is catched up. My man will catch up. So, that will be the 15. And then, again, making sure that the paid ads is booking at least 15 appointments as well. So that's about 3 appointments a day that it needs to be booking. Right? And we need to be spending $4,500 a week, right? All numbers. 70% show rate. I gave a bonus for them as well if they get their shows, because we want to prioritize shows. So just incentivizing the sales team as well, giving them show bonus, just like a small little bonus, not even a little small, but a few $100 for the bonus if they hit their show goal. Right? And then improving connection rate is something that we could do as well. For paid ads, book 15 appointments. These are self-booked appointments at $300 of a cost per appointment. It's $4,500 in a day. If you do the math, $4,500 divided by, let's say, 7 days, that comes out to be like $500 to $600 a day that we need to be spending. $600 that we need to be spending per day. 600 and some change that we need to be spending. So right now, I think we're spending about 300. We dialed back down because last week was pretty terrible. You can see right here we spent 3,000, but did not get the CPA that we were looking for. That needs to be 300. So we were like 2.5x over. So we dial that back down. We recorded new ads, and then I launched with the new ads the other day. So And this week we'll just be launching more creatives, scaling to 700 by Wednesday. Very clear, okay, so you can see, very clear numbers. I can hold everyone accountable because I'm very clear of what we need to hit. And it's just a matter of us hitting it and doing the things that we need to do, and everyone focus on what they need to do. Right? And that's everything there. I won't show you guys what we have for operations, but marketing, sales, and that's the focus. I hope that's valuable. And yeah, we're off to a good start in terms of being organized. Come ready. This is how we hit goals. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.